do it.
Let's do previews. 16 days until the first trial. Feb 7, live here on Fox, all of them, and on KO.
Yep.
Broncos.
Yep.
I am fascinated to see what they deliver next year or this year, because you forget, Braith, they only just snuck into the top 4 and they had to come back from double digits in every final. They can't repeat that avenue again, right? There's no way. But I'm just wondering now they've got the monkey off the back.
Yep.
Now they've got Reece Walsh playing lights out, and he was great in the test matches too. Is this a year they dominate? Is this a year they could just come out and actually be like the 90s Broncos that would just put the cleaners through teams?
Well, it wouldn't surprise us if they did, right? They've got the players. They've only lost Hetherington and Smoothie. They've got some really young guns there, right? They, in key positions, Carrigan, Haas and Ezra Mam, Reece Walsh. We saw those two in the grand final. It was spectacular. They've still got the experience of Reynolds and Hunt. And they've got speed and athleticism on their edges. And, they really should dominate this year. It's hard to say dominate when you've got teams like, Penrith but really looking at their roster and the way they did perform in the back end of the season, they're going to be there. There's no doubt about that. The only real concern would be the hangover after a grand final, because every player talks about it who's been in a grand final, won a grand final. It's just that 1 or 2% of desire that you haven't won a premiership. You want to win that premiership. Do you have that the next year after you do? Now, you look at Penrith and their dynasty. That's why that's been so amazing, because what they've been able to do and lift every year and continue to do so. In Melbourne, they're similar. So a lot will come down to the inner sanctum. It will come down to Michael Maguire, how he coaches them, how he gets them back up after that premiership win. The systems they've got in place, do they hold up year after year after year, or did they just have a golden run to win a premiership? That will all be told and seen this year.
When did you won one comp?
Yep.
And Dogs are terrible the next year.
Next year we were, but we got a lot of injuries, mind you. We had half our team go down, so a lot was probably because of that. I would think. We'd been on a high for a while, making finals, but I wouldn't say it was a premiership hangover. We were decimated, but. I'm trying to think of other teams, but it's hard because Penrith have been so good.
Well, Penrith last year, it was the start of the season that got them, right? But often, it's the back half for a defending premier. They often come out firing. I don't know whether it's the glow of the premiership, the aura. But then, don't forget, Brisbane's got to go to England.
Yep.
That used to be a real problem for teams. Where they would do the World Club Challenge and then come back. Season only gets longer. 6 of their first 7 are in southeast Queensland, 5 at Suncorp, 1 at Seabus. But in saying that, now, yes, okay, they get their breaks, but because they're the biggest television team, they also get one of the hardest draws. They get Melbourne twice, they get Penrith twice, they get Roosters twice, they get Canterbury twice. That's the price of being the Broncos.
You know what? Speed. Like youth, enthusiasm, but genuine speed and X factor is what the Brisbane Broncos have. The modern game with how quick it is and the ruck speed and it's even getting quicker, right? Volandis is trying to get it, the rule changes suggest that. So, you've got these lethal players. Like, you just got to take yourself back to the grand final. Ezra Mam off the bench and Reece Walsh. And then, you said it, he had a great series with the Australian team as well, Reece. How can they not be there and how can they not be favourites with those guys who are only going to get better? They're kids. They have the best ahead of them, and they've been through some turmoil. Even last year, they were looking terrible after the first couple of months of the year. So they've got through that. So that if they... they're confident guys, but they know now what they can achieve and what they can do.
That's a top 3 list?
Definitely.
Top 3. What they do with it is up to them and the hangover.
With all due respect, losing Hetherington and Smoothie, that's not...
Well, they actually get in Grant Anderson, who probably won't fit into their... Well, I doubt fits into their 17. I mean, Billy Walters is out early part of the season. Maybe they have him as a utility, but... you've got the 3 quarters of Karapani, Shibasaki, Staggs, Mariner. So it's... Well, they've got depth. They've actually
he wouldn't start the year unless there's an injury, I think.
And you've got Tom Duffy they've bought from the Cowboys, pretty good talent. It's interesting. Kobe Black went to Canberra. Tom Duffy comes in.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the Broncos.